Chance tends to help the cautious. That idea opens this chapter. Even after you find a business that passes the 4 M's, meaning moat, management, and margin of safety, 2 worries remain. First, did you make a mistake in your analysis? Second, what happens if the market drives the price down tomorrow and you suddenly see a paper loss? Chapter 11 gives us 3 practical answers and then teaches the best one. The first answer people try is to pretend you bought a stock and its price drops. If you don't sell it, no loss is real, some say. That is dangerous wishful thinking. If you walked into your bank and tried to get a loan using the stock as collateral, the banker would value it at today's market price, not at what you paid. Pretending a loss away does not change reality, and it violates rule number 1. The second answer is what Warren Buffett sometimes does: make up the difference. If one of his long-term holdings drops in value, he often makes smart short-term bets elsewhere to offset the loss. Mr. Buffett is brilliant at both long-term investing and short-term opportunistic moves, things like arbitrage, bonds, commodities, or currencies. That approach works for him, but it is advanced, time-consuming, and not practical for most of us, who just want to avoid losing money. That leads us to the third and best answer: grab the stick. The chapter tells a short parable about a monk who is tested by his teacher. One day, his teacher came into his cell carrying a gnarly walking cane and said, "You've done well, my son. You have only one last test to pass. I will return in 1 day. If you pass the test, you will become a monk and join our order as a brother. If you fail it, I'll beat you senseless with this stick." Before the student could ask what the test was, the monk walked out and locked the door. The student had nothing to do but sit in his cell and ponder his final test. The next day his teacher returned carrying the stick and said, "Well?" And before he could say another word, the student leaped to his feet and grabbed the stick. The teacher smiled and said, "Welcome, brother." Our third choice is to grab the stick. Philosophically, grabbing the stick means taking control of the risk rather than pretending it does not exist. To do that, we must first understand why prices go up and down. People give lots of reasons: interest rates, earnings, CEOs, currency moves. Phil Town is blunt. Stocks change price for only one reason: more money wants to buy than sell, or more money wants to sell than buy. In practice, that means institutional investors, pension funds, insurance funds, mutual funds, and the like, control the market. In Chapter 1, Phil said that out of about $17 trillion in United States stock markets, roughly $14 trillion comes from institutional money. Those big funds move slowly and in huge blocks, so when they buy, prices rise, and when they sell, prices fall. That reality helps us. The big funds are like cruise ships. They turn slowly and take weeks to fully buy or sell a position. The average trade size on the New York Stock Exchange around the time of the book was 345 shares, about $5,000. Try imagining moving $2 billion with $5,000 trades. It takes weeks and shows up as a slow, visible tide. By contrast, small investors are nimble. We can buy or sell in seconds without disturbing the price. That asymmetry is an advantage we should exploit. Phil uses true drama, Enron, to show the danger of being slow. When professional funds began to worry, they started selling quietly, and the stock slid from $60 to $30. Later, the selling accelerated, then collapsed from $9 to virtually zero in a panic. When everyone rushes for the exits, even savvy funds can get burned. As small investors, we can avoid being in that stampede if we have tools that tell us what the big ships are doing. That's where the practical 3 tools come in. Professional platforms have programs that monitor money flows in and out of individual stocks, mutual funds, and index funds. Thanks to the internet, those same tools are available to the little investor, often for free, on broker sites or services, like the financial portals. These tools show when big money is quietly buying into a company or quietly selling out. If the funds are moving in, we can see it and get ahead of them. If they are moving out, we can stay away. Why are the tools important? 2 reasons. 1. They lower our risk of losing money by warning us when institutional selling starts. 2. They eliminate ERI, the emotional rule of investing. ERI is that human pattern. If you buy, the price seems to fall right after you buy. If you hesitate, the price seems to rise and taunt you until you buy. Then it drops. ERI is emotional noise, and the 3 tools give factual signals that help us ignore that noise. Phil emphasizes that the tools are not a secret, elite trick. They are the same flow and charting tools professionals use. The difference is how small investors can act on them faster. The tools tell us when the cruise ships are turning and in which direction. we, as wave runners, can accelerate ahead of that movement or avoid the wake. Chapter 11 ends by promising to show these specific tools and how to use them in the next chapter. For now, the message is simple. Understand who really controls prices, respect that reality, and use the nimbleness of being small plus informational tools to protect your capital and act prudently. Grab the stick. Don't let the market beat you with it.